Hi, welcome to the Happy Being Well podcast. I'm your host, Rita Farruggia, and today I wanted to talk about something that quietly shapes almost every area of our lives, but most people rarely stop to examine it, and that is consciousness. More specifically, what happens when we go through life operating from a low level of awareness. Not because we're bad people, not because we lack intelligence, but because we're simply unaware, unaware of our patterns, unaware of our emotional triggers, unaware of how our past experiences are quietly running the show. And the truth is, there is a hidden cost to navigating life this way. Many people are living their lives on autopilot. They wake up, check their phones, rush through the day, react to circumstances, feel stressed, distracted, or overwhelmed and repeat the same cycle again and again. What's really happening beneath the surface is what we really need to stop and examine. When we operate from a low level of consciousness, we stop becoming intentional creators of our lives and instead become reactive participants in it. Life starts happening to us rather than through us. And the cost of this is much greater than most people realize. The cost shows up in our relationships. One of the first places low consciousness shows up is in our relationships. When we're not aware of our emotional patterns, we often repeat the same dynamics over and over and over again. We may choose partners who trigger familiar wounds. We may react defensively instead of communicating openly. We may assume the worst about people rather than approaching situations with curiosity and understanding. And suddenly we look around and think, why do I keep experiencing the same problems with different people? The truth is that unexamined patterns tend to repeat themselves. Until we raise our awareness, we can unknowingly recreate the same emotional experiences again and again and again. Does this sound familiar? You can recall friends saying, "Oh, I got the new job," and then they're so excited in the beginning, and the same problems happen again that followed from the previous workplace. Or the friend who's habitually dating, getting into new relationships, excited in the beginning, and then complains about the same relationship patterns from the previous relationship. Different face, same problems. So the cost shows up in our stress. Low consciousness also keeps the nervous system in a near constant state of stress. When we're unaware of our thoughts and emotional reactions, our mind can easily drift toward worry, comparison, resentment, or fear, and the body responds. Stress hormones rise, sleep suffers, energy declines. But here's the fascinating part. Many people believe the stress they're experiencing is entirely caused by their circumstances. In reality, it's often amplified by unconscious mental patterns running in the background. The cost shows up in missed opportunities. Perhaps the greatest cost of living with low awareness is the opportunities we never see. When consciousness expands, we begin to notice possibilities that previously felt invisible. We become more creative, more open, more curious about life. When we're operating on autopilot, our perception narrows. We stay inside familiar routines and belief systems, even if those systems are limiting us. It's like trying to navigate the world while looking through a very small window. You only see a fraction of what's actually possible. The beautiful thing about consciousness is that it can shape in a single moment Often it begins with a simple question. Why do I react this way? That is a very important question to ask yourselves daily. Is this belief actually true? Is there another way of seeing the situation? The moment of questioning creates space between you and your automatic reactions. And inside that space, something powerful begins to happen choice. Instead of repeating the same unconscious patterns, you begin to respond with intention. Consciousness changes everything. When people begin raising their awareness, they often notice remarkable changes. They become more patient in conversations. They pause before reacting emotionally. They begin noticing the stories they've been telling themselves for years. And slowly, life begins to feel like a constant struggle and more like a creative process. You begin designing your life rather than simply surviving it. Here's a gentle invitation. If there is one idea I love to leave you with today, it's this. Most people are not limited by their circumstances. They are limited by the level of awareness they bring to those circumstances. In the moment awareness expands, new choices become possible. So the next time you find yourself reacting to something in life, pause for a moment, take a breath, and simply ask yourself, what might I not be seeing right now? Because sometimes the greatest shift in our lives begins with the smallest moments of awareness. If this episode resonated with you, please consider sharing it with a friend who might benefit from this episode. And don't forget, subscribe to the Happy Being Well podcast so you never miss future episodes on wellness, healing, personal growth, and living a life of deeper awareness. So remember, live happy being well. Your awareness is one of the most powerful tools you have to create a life of peace, clarity, and purpose. And sometimes the most important journey we take is the one inward.